In this part of the program, I want to go over something that's very important, which is when exactly should you be buying stocks and when exactly should you sell your stocks. So the first thing I just want to talk about and make sure I clarify is it's very important that you buy a stock at a low price and then sell it at a higher price. And that's basically the whole purpose of investing in the stock market. You want to buy low and then sell high for a profit. And the biggest mistake I see beginners make is they buy high and then they see the price of the stock go down and then they panic sell. Now that's the last thing you want to do. You do not want to panic sell. You just want to make sure you keep on holding the stock until it goes up. So for example, if you bought a stock at $4.75 and then it went down to $3.30, you might want to sell because you think the stock's going to keep going down. Well, that's the last thing you want to do. You just want to keep on holding until it goes back up, because it usually does. As you can see, Tesla did recover and now it's over $500. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I just want to talk about when is the best time for you to actually buy a stock. So you always want to buy a stock on a red day. And basically that just means that the stock price went down. So for example, on September 4, Tesla was $418. But then on September 8, Tesla was $330. So you would want to buy on the day when it was $330, which is a red day, which means the stock price is down. And you will be able to see when the stock is down. For example, right here we have Apple, and as you can see today, Apple is down just by a little bit. It's down by 11%. But this would basically mean that it's a red day since Apple stock is down from the previous day. So basically, anytime there's a little dip, that is the best time to buy the stock. You never want to buy stock when it's going up, you want to buy it when it's going down. For example, yesterday I actually bought this stock and I bought it for about $21, and today it actually went up, and right now it went up to $24. Now the next thing I want to talk about is when should you actually sell your stocks. So this honestly really depends. For example, I bought a couple stocks and then a couple months later I decided to sell them because I made a pretty decent profit. But then again, I also have some stocks that I'm planning on holding for the next 5+ years. So it really doesn't matter. You can sell whenever you want and when you think you've made a big enough profit. So I'll give you an example of this. I actually bought Tesla back when it was around $180. And right now I could sell it for $593 if I wanted to. However, I'm not going to actually sell any of my Tesla stocks, and the reason for that is because I think in the next 5 years, this price could go up to 1,000 or even more. And so because of that, I might as well keep on holding since I don't need the money anyways, and then I'll end up making way more money in 5 years. So it really is just a personal preference. If I want to cash out and get the money now, I could sell now, but if I want to keep on holding and potentially make more money later on, then I can just do that. But I will say, to make more money, it's always better to be in it for the long run. For example, if you bought Tesla back when it was $66 in 2019 and you held it till right now, which was over a year, you would end up making a lot of money. So always think long term. That is the best thing in my opinion. Now another thing I want to talk about, which is very important, is how the current stock market is doing. So whenever you want to actually see how the whole stock market is doing, all you have to do is search up S&P 500 index, and this basically is an indication of how the whole market is doing. So for example, you can see back here in March the stock market was going down, and now you can see the stock market is recovering. Now if you click on max, you can actually see that the stock market right now is the highest that it's ever been. And so when the stock market is very high, just like right now, that could be an indication that the stock market is going to fall. For example, back in February, the stock market was pretty high, then we had the coronavirus, and now the stock market is even higher than before the coronavirus, which is kind of weird. And so because of this, it is predicted that the stock market will dip a little bit. So in that case, it may not be the smartest idea to buy stocks right now. So anytime there is a noticeable dip that could potentially be 10% down, that is when you want to look at your favorite stocks and see if it's worth buying them. So a reminder is, you do not want to buy when the stock market is high. You want to buy when it's low so you can get it at a discounted price and then sell it at a higher price later on. For example, let's take a look at Tesla stock right now. So Tesla stock right now is the highest that it's ever been. So buying right now may not be the smartest decision. It would be a lot better if you waited for Tesla to drop. So instead of buying Tesla at $593, you'd want to wait for it to hit at least $400 before you buy it. Because as you can see, it was at $400 recently. That is basically it for this lesson. Now in the next lessons, I'm going to go over some very important stuff, like some mistakes you need to avoid, some stock market terminology, and how to invest tax-free for your retirement, and also how to navigate through your brokerage. So I'll see you guys in the next lessons.